Hello, 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 everyone. I am having a hard time getting into the groove of this. They will not stop, apparently, and I don't know why. It's like, calm down. It is what it is. She is convicted. I just don't want to believe it. I don't get it. So, Dad did an interview with Chris Cuomo, which I don't know why he did that. And he looked like he was spazzing a little bit in the video. So, we're gonna look at that, react to it, respond to it, see what we do. I know these are probably unbelievably boring, but I'm learning. And as soon as I get this down packed to where there's no glitches when I go to start, we're going to do it. I don't know if I want to react to um the actual just raw video or react to my boy AG Tactical reacting to it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna react to his live because that's weird. I think that's weird. So I'll go to my history. All right, we are wasting so much time. All right, this was on for an hour and 40 minutes
after the trial. Anything that, well, we're terrible.
We're not gonna respond to this for an hour. All right, so I'm gonna hit my intro. Everything I say here is just my own opinion, and I'm nobody in this world. I represent no one but myself. Um, we're just gonna respond to this or react to this, her dad spazzing the fuck out. I really don't get why they keep, it's like, just stay off the media. Like, this man is literally ruined it. He looks horrible. I just want to say that he does not look well. And I need him to pay attention to his health a little bit because I'm imagining he's stressed out because we find out in here um his contract is up with work this September. So as of this September, he has no work. I wonder if Chris goes into the text message allegations that there are. Not, I don't even know if they're really allegations. There's some text messages between him and Mackenze that sound weird, I guess. And I don't know if they go into that. It's really the only reason why I'm coming in. They keep saying the same stuff over and over again, and then they keep sounding more and more insensitive to what their daughter did and to the people that are actually affected by what their daughter did. But here, we'll watch a little bit of this and see what else is up with the world, I guess. But we will cut to the intro and then we'll get into this right away, I think. Yeah, okay, so here. This is Mackenze Shrilla's dad. This is Chris Cuomo, if any of you are confused. Dad ain't looking too good. Dad is looking crazy right now. My man needs to shave. He needs a shower. He looks a little stinky. I don't know for sure. Allegedly. He looks like he's stressing. He's losing weight. The man is fading right before our very eyes. Hair thinning. We didn't even comb it over before we like, nobody said, "Hey dad, let's comb your hair up before you get going live to the world. Let's fix it here." I at least put a hat on. Like I sat down to do this and then I saw my hair, the way it's looking back at me. Yeah, I need to get my hair retwisted. But I put a hat on. This man got on there. I don't his wife ain't be like, "Bae, put something on your head," or "Bae, brush that shit down." Something. Go get a haircut. We going on we're doing an interview with Chris Cuomo. Go get a haircut. Let's not look crazy. But some people don't care about looking. I mean, I don't really care about how I look, but I'm imagining no one's ever really gonna watch this. So, or no, let me stop putting that out there. Someone's gonna watch this. People are gonna watch this. But boy's looking crazy. All right, so let's see what they have to say.
Honest with us and what they were going to use and how they were going to portray us in that documentary. Some of my comments, which all my comments were true, anything I said, I meant. But they were part of a longer dialogue. They were part more of a, it wasn't just, I just didn't spew that statement.
I understand.
There was a reason that statement came out.
So Chris had just asked him, like, how did Netflix portray themselves to you when it came to like doing the documentary? Which I don't know if they I mean, I appreciate that they did it and they said some stuff, and I don't know that they shed any light on anything except for letting us know how ridiculous they all are. But my thing about when you go on TV or you go on like reality TV and you behave a certain way and you say certain things, you don't understand how people are perceiving you, right? You don't get that because you're you and you're doing you, right? So then you go on, you act out, and then you see yourself and hear how yourself sounds, and then you realize, damn, I might be a dick. That's really how I sound. I really said that. And some people course correct, but when you're a Shrillia, nah, you stand 10 toes down. I meant what I said. I said what I said. Um, I'm not backing down on nothing. I don't hear anything wrong with what I said. So that's pretty much where they are right now. Okay, so go ahead. Let's see what else he had to say. We're just bumping around right now.
Do you know your children? I mean, can you tell when your children are telling lies?
Yeah.
Or aren't being honest with you? Look.
I'd like to think so.
Okay.
Yeah. We stopped at a perfect spot. I'm pretty sure he keeps going back and forth over, I don't know everything that my kid does. I can't be there for everything that they do, which is true. Once your kids get a certain age, I can't be there for everything. I can't know everything. I mean, I just started acting like, let me back off and let my kids be grown-ups now. And my daughter just turned 22. She's turning 23 in a couple of months. I got one kid turning 18 in a couple of months. I got another kid turning 20. I just got to the point where I'm like, all right, the 17-year-old can walk the dog by himself. The 17-year-old can go to the store. I don't have to go behind him. I take that back. I still go behind my daughter while she's in the middle of doing dishes. I'm still standing there like, did you put enough soap? Like, you're always a parent. My parents still parent me a little bit. I mean, they don't directly tell me what to do, but they definitely look at me and say, if I were you, I'd do this. Like, you weren't that. If I were you, I'd do this. Like, he keeps saying there's nothing I could do about her smoking. And in some of that I get, because I had a kid, my kid started smoking it. And then to some extent, there was nothing I could do. If he was going to go out and do it, he was going to do it. If he went to school and he was going to do it, he was going to do it. But I was definitely like, he knew I didn't want him to do it. He knew not to do it in front of me. He knew if he wasn't driving, he's still not driving. He doesn't want to drive. He's got like crazy anxiety, but he wasn't there would be no him driving a car with my name on it. And I know that he's out there driving reckless like that. That wouldn't. He keeps saying he didn't know she was in the car smoking, but the way Mom Dukes is on top of her social media, the way you're in there, the way she knows passwords and all of that stuff, she knew everything Mackenze was doing. There's not a doubt in my mind, in my opinion, that Mom knew what was going on. So I don't know. Chris is just like, well, you definitely know when your kids are lying. If you're a parent and you can't tell if your kid is lying to you, even if I can't call it out right now because I don't got proof, I know when I'm being lied to. And I wait and I watch. And then the second, eventually it all shows itself. So you know when your kids is lying. Chris was like, yeah.
That's how I am. I believe my daughter is painfully honest. And she's, yeah. My wife just said she's painfully honest.
Has she ever passed out before and had no recollection of anything that happened?
Passed out and didn't remember? No. Passed out and been in an accident? At least one time. Okay. I can't speak for her memory loss. I wasn't.
So she was driving once and had an episode and had a car accident?
No.
Oh.
She'd been driving. She'd only been driving for a year.
Okay. I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
Yeah. She's passed out.
Natalie, if you want to get on there, get on there. Why are you in the background? Making Pop take all the shots. Natalie, get on camera. Come on, Chris. Get Natalie on. Tell Natalie to get on camera.
Okay, I can't speak for her memory loss. I wasn't.
So she was driving once and had an episode and had a car accident?
No.
Oh,
She'd been driving. She'd only been driving for a year.
Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood you.
Yeah, she's passed out.
Natalie, if you want to get on there, get on there. Why are you in the background? Making Pop take all the shots. Natalie, get on camera. Come on, Chris. Get Natalie on. Tell Natalie to get on camera.
She's had a couple episodes here at the house. She's had them with her friends. And all her friends have said it happens at school. I mean, at Dom's house. I mean, it happens. And I do not know why Jim McDonald, her lawyer, didn't use it. I don't understand. I'm dumbfounded why that lawyer chose not to do anything other than click his pen and sit at that desk.
And when you talk to
him, let me let Chris cook. Hold on.
And said, "Where's the pot stuff?" What did he say?
He said this is his word.
No, it was at the end of the trial. I didn't even know he didn't turn it in.
He didn't even turn it in. He told us after one of the dates that the judge is not buying it. That was his word. The judge is not buying it. That was his.
She has a diagnosis.
That she has a diagnosis. That was his description to me. And if I would, in my hindsight right now, if I'd have known.
If I have a diagnosis for a debilitate, like if I have a diagnosis for a thing where I'm randomly passing out, everyone's going to know. Because you guys would have to let the school know that randomly my daughter might be walking around and just pass out. It would have to go on her license. Randomly she's gonna pass out. She'd probably have like staff at school, like something that serious. If it is serious, if it is real, there'd be other people that can attest to it besides you, your wife, and Mackenze. That's all. Just as a parent right now, if my kid had something, like my kid was like depressed. And we had a plan for the kid at school. So right now, today, if I needed to prove if something happened and I had to prove that he had issues and stuff happened during school, before school, after school that everybody had to look out for, I could just pull up the record of that I could go to the doctor and pull up his medical file of that. So there's no way if the lawyer had a smoking gun, hey, she has this thing that she randomly passes out. There's no way he wouldn't have been able to use it or the judge not buy it. Because if there's proof of it, the judge can't be like, oh, well, maybe the judge can because they didn't do a jury trial. They did a bench trial. But there's no way. The judge would have to let them argue it at least. So I don't know. They be talking out their ears. I don't want to say ass, but they be talking out it.
I would have fired him immediately. Okay.
I didn't know he didn't turn that into.
Yeah, we didn't know he didn't turn stuff into after the fact, you know. So I mean, there's some things we didn't know. I mean, are we bad parents? No. Are
You want to know why you didn't know? Who in the class can guess why the parents didn't know everything that was going on? Who? You over there? You right there? That beautiful brown girl right there? You? Oh. Yeah, because she's grown. And you guys can't step in for her. And she would have had to fight to say, get that in. And he probably heard her and was like, nah, I'm not. Nah. It's not happening. That's not real. That's not a real thing. Look at Chris. He trying. Sometimes I think everybody that got kicked off the news and is now on like YouTube, they did that shit on purpose. They was done with being on the news. Make my own money. Bulk that. Make my own news network. That's what I'm gonna have, my own news network. I'm gonna be my own anchor man, woman, person, woman. Yeah, all of them that were on the news like before Trump went into office, they all got their own YouTube channels now. Making it hard for the rest of us amateurs. Dang, I'm about to stop recording.
we uninformed parents of a child that was on trial for murder? Yeah.
What does that mean?
She had 1 day. She had 1 day for defense. He did 1 day, and he didn't do much during her trial. I mean, it just wasn't there. I mean, I don't know what he was thinking. He, in my opinion, this man should never be allowed in a courtroom again. I mean, he's a.
That was up to Mackenze to take care of, because you know what, Mackenzie's an adult now. Y'all let her run around swearing, pretending to be grown. And there's no way that they could have not put stuff in. Like, you have to put stuff in. Like, the whole case would get thrown out if it didn't get put in. There's probably no proof of it, and that's why he didn't put it in. That was like, what's his name? Stephen Stearns with the head injury, trying to say that he had a traumatic head injury, and that's why he was a murderous creeper. Because of his head injury he had when he was little. He got hit by somebody, tried to run him over or some shit. But the parents could not get proof of it, so there was no way they were going to be able to use it in trial. You can't just say you have something and then the court's just like, oh, okay. No, it don't work like that.
It's just unfortunate that he did nothing for her.
It wasn't nothing he could do.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion. 2020, after this fact, what did he do? You know. So I mean, he did nothing for her.
If there is a legitimate basis for prior knowledge and existence of a diagnosis of POTS, that should have been in the evidence, and that's something that you guys should make sure is in the appeal, because obviously the judge had every reasonable basis not to buy it, because she didn't have it in front of her in a way that seemed to be demonstrated before the fact.
That is in her post-conviction appeals now. It's in the post.
Right. No, I know that because I've read the pleadings. But the other thing that the lawyer left on the table, so to speak, is the intoxication. No alcohol. Okay. THC. Yes. Limit. Tough to know. They messed with the sample. They didn't preserve it. But we all know it was in her system. It wasn't argued as diminished capacity.
That is absolutely true.
The idea of...
You want to know why it wasn't an issue? Because she was always driving around high. She was always smoking and driving. And then at this point, marijuana is like cigarettes. Okay? She's always driving around high. The prosecutor said in the documentary, he was just like, there's no way that affected her like that when she's always driving that way. Like her tolerance for weed is whatever. It's cigarettes to her now. Pretty much. He didn't say that, but pretty much it's nothing to her now the way she smoked. So I don't know. He everything they're saying, I guess they covered in that documentary. It was just like, yeah, there's no way she was so high off weed that she slammed on the brakes and wouldn't take her foot off. She was all gas, no brakes. I mean, slammed on the gas and wouldn't take her foot off and just kept the car going. There's no way. We don't do that.
Why she was taking so much drugs. This is what you get hammered for in the documentary, where you were like, yeah, I know she smoked a lot of weed. I was okay with it. Do you still feel that way?
I knew she was smoking weed. I didn't know she was making videos in the car. That's the stuff I found out after the fact.
They wasting weed. Privileged ass kids. That is a waste. What is wrong with these kids? This is the picture she taking. What is wrong with y'all? She didn't smoke a lot of weed. Has her with the biggest. What, I don't even know what you call it. That's ridiculous. You're choking. I want to cough right now. My lungs hurt looking at that. That is ridiculous.
Do you blame yourself for your daughter's behavior?
Do I blame myself? Could I have advised her better? Sure. Do I think it would have made any difference? I don't know.
Why wouldn't it have made any difference? Bruh, like why? You know what's sad? She's gonna eventually realize how shitty her parents were. Like, I was by no means a bad parent, but my kids came up to me and was just like, we kind of wish you didn't just let us say no to shit. Like, we kind of wish when you signed us up for stuff, and if they didn't want to do it, I was just like, fine, if you don't want to do it, we're not going to do it. Like, I wanted to see enthusiasm about them wanting to do it, and they would just be like, I don't want to do this. I don't care. Like, we signed my son up for football. He did one season. Next season came up. He said he ain't want to do it. I said, okay. I'm not going to make you do it if you don't want to do it. Cut to 5, 6, maybe 10 years later. I kind of wish you made me do it. Fuck out of here. I kind of wish you were excited about doing stuff. But, like, kids, you show you love them by not letting them just do whatever. Like, if I saw my daughter in a relationship that didn't seem right and it didn't seem healthy, I would feel like I'm neglecting her by not stepping in to be like, all right, enough is enough. This needs to stop. Like, you don't just let your kids run wild. Like, you have to I understand picking your battles, but my battles are, I'm not going to worry about how they dress as long as they're not dressing crazy. That girl barely had clothes on, so me and her would have been battling. Like, put some fucking clothes on. You're not leaving my house looking like that. I wonder if they get into why she was living with Dom. Like,
I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with the marijuana use. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's a battle that I would never win. How am I stopping her?
Even now? You don't even now be like, that was a... Did he see that picture that I just saw? That was an abuse. That was too much marijuana at one time. If she smoked that whole thing, that girl, it was overuse and abuse, misuse. Okay, that was entirely too much for one sitting. Please tell me that was for the gram, Mackenze. Please tell me that you were rolling those like that just for the social media. You were not actually smoking that whole thing, because that is a waste. He did not see that picture. He couldn't have, because I'd have been like, what the fuck are you doing? You got me out here looking stupid.
Like, gonna lock her in her room and never let her out of the room?
Yes.
Was I supposed to go with her everywhere she goes?
Yes.
Could I took the car away?
Yes.
There's just so many factors that had nothing to do with it.
Yes, all of that.
Again, I'm judging Steve. I'm not judging you or your wife. But I don't know how much of the audience are parents, but you and I both know, as does your wife, the answer to every suggestion you just made is yes. That's what we do. I told you not to drink with your friends. You drank. Now you're not going out. Oh, you did it again. Now you can't drive. Oh, you did it again. Now you're not going anywhere for a week.
We have grounded her.
That's why parenting can suck. That's why we're not their friends.
I don't know how he said all of that with a straight ass face. Yes, that's why it sucks, dum dum. That's why it's not for everybody. And if you don't want to do it, don't have kids. I don't want to deal with. And I feel sometimes it be like that. Like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do all of this right now. But when you bring him in, that's what we got to do. Got that girl finna for herself. Too early. You can send them to fin for themselves. 18, 19, maybe 20. You still got to guide them into their 20s. You still got to guide them. You still got to get them out of the house into their 20s. They lying about how miserable their life was with that child. They lying. She was bad in school, getting in trouble in school. There was never a point when she was just a good ass kid, I don't think.
Totally agree. I've taken her door off her room. I've taken her phone, all her electronics. I mean, this kid is not unpunished. Okay, did we dote on our daughter? Yeah. Did I give her what I could? Yes. I gave her things I didn't get when I was a kid. That's me being a parent. I love my kid.
What?
And
go ahead.
I love that kid. There was not a problem with her until this accident and how it got blown out of proportion. And how everything now is so blown out of proportion. It's, mind you, nothing that I'm doing.
Blown out of proportion. If everyone had survived unscathed, no injuries, and everybody walked away fine, then yeah, you can say we blowing it out of proportion. 2 people died. Young people. Their lives may mean nothing to you, but 2 people died. What do you mean stuff's getting blown out of proportion? You not caring about your kid smoking a half a pound of marijuana at a time? That's getting blown out of proportion? No, her lungs. I'm sorry. That was a misuse, overuse, and abuse of the marijuana. I'm sorry. That joint was ridiculous. Okay? Is that what you mean is getting blown out of proportion? Because the crash is not blown out of proportion. Her running that car into the wall, her reaction to whatever happened by running the car into the wall, yeah, that don't match. Those don't match.
Saying nothing my wife has said has anything to do with the prosecution not having any evidence to support their charges. That's it. Okay, it's just smoke and mirrors after the trial. Anything that, oh, we're terrible parents, oh, we entitled her. It has nothing to do. Me not caring that she was smoking marijuana with her boyfriend and her friends has nothing to do with that accident. Has nothing to do with it.
Do you think the documentary filmmakers had an agenda? Do you think that they were out?
I believe they did. I believe they misrepresented themselves when they spoke to us. I believe they came in with a set idea of who my daughter was and who we are. And I also feel, though, once they started talking to us, I think we gave them other stuff to look at. But in the end, their editor and the way they produced it went against what they said to us. And the families, my understanding is the families had editing control during this documentary because they were able to view it prior to it hitting the air. And my understanding, and we weren't allowed. Yeah, we weren't allowed. So, like I said, I believe they had an agenda and they did it. And that was a mistake on our part because we believed that they wanted to be an unbiased, fair platform for us.
Why? They're the victims. Y'all not the victims. I don't know why you did it anyway, but they the victims. They lost family. Yeah, let me see how y'all got me looking. Yeah, that makes sense. Y'all are not the victims. Nobody cares how y'all look. Because y'all not the victims.
Our story out. And if they would have used the 3 days they interviewed us stuff, I think there would have been a different light on that documentary. It would have looked different. They would have cast some more light on what the prosecution has and does not have, and the narrative that they put out is just that story.
You have what they have, and you have the narrative. We'll put that in two pieces. The first point.
Let me ask you this question before you go. What do you think they have as evidence?
Okay, here's the problem for the defense with this case. There is an unusual amount of objective data about what happened after that right turn was made and until the car struck the sign.
Actually, no, that's not true.
Steve, let me explain why I say it.
Let me explain because I've looked at all this evidence. They got her turning. They got her turning on the road, the right turn, yes. Blinker, blah blah blah. Right?
Yes.
We agree.
Nice and slow.
Nice and slow, like a normal. Okay. The road is a cut through. In Strong's order, it's a known cut through. The detectives, even in their notes, state as much. Okay, it is a cut through. Now there is no evidence from just after the turn to 4.74 seconds prior to that car hitting that wall. There's nothing. There is absolutely zero evidence. There's no black box information. There's no.
Bruh. The black box doesn't just record as you drive. It picks up a couple of seconds before the accident. So when the car is going 90 miles an hour for more than 4 to 5, for like 5 seconds, the car is going that fast. That the black box said, what? I'm the black box. Do. We driving. This how the black box drive, y'all. The fuck? Why are we going so fast? Oh, what the fuck is going on? Let me record. The fuck is happening? The black box said, what the fuck is going on? Boom. 5 seconds. And from what I hear, somebody said that is a long ass time for a when it thinks it's in an accident, that's when it starts recording. 5 seconds of accident is a long ass time. 90 miles an hour for 5 seconds is crazy talk. That car was going so, you even said it. He's either about to say it or has said it before, that the car was going so fast that the car thought it flipped over. And then that's when it picked up that something's going on. Let me start recording. Okay, that's literally what just happened. He doesn't hear that he's saying the same thing that the prosecutor is saying. He doesn't hear that what he's saying is why his daughter is guilty. You know when you're saying the same shit that the opposition is saying, but you don't want to hear what they saying? Okay, they looked at everything. Before they came and was like, yo, what the fuck happened? They looked at, well, was she high off anything? Oh, well, she was smoking. She always smokes. So that's not it. Okay. Did something break on the car? Like, did the acceleration get stuck? Did the brake? Well, the brake definitely didn't get stuck. But did the acceleration get stuck? You know what they should have looked into? I know something about cars. The brake switch. If that car had a brake switch. I know my Nissan Pathfinder. The brake switch malfunction. The brake switch is the thing that tells the gas it like warns the car when you take your foot off the gas, it switches to the brake. It's this thing that switches to tell the car, hey, we're about to brake. That went on my Pathfinder, so when I would hit the brake, the car would keep going. It was scary as fuck. And when it went, it was like winter time. So you would go to hit the brake and the car would just you would take your foot off the gas and hit the brake and the car would just not stop. I crashed into a snowbank. And I was going slow because we in Connecticut. When it snows, you drive slow. So maybe they could look into that. But from what they're saying, everything was working on the car. He played with the brake. They were playing with the brake thing. And they were like, oh, well, did her shoe get caught? Shoe wasn't caught. Oh, was there anything medical that happened? We don't know. She keeps saying she doesn't remember what happened. She probably doesn't, because she probably had a concussion and doesn't remember. Only thing I can attest to with that is The Miz got a concussion in the middle of a match during WrestleMania. He finished the match, but he has no memory of the match. So if you're concussed, you probably lose a bit of memory. It happened with The Undertaker too. He got a concussion, hit his head, got a concussion in the middle of a match, has no memory of the match. The only reason why he knows the match happened is because he can watch it. So technically, the only reason why she knows she crashed the car and had her foot on the pedal is because of the black box. That data don't lie. That data says she had her foot on the gas, never took her foot off the gas, never hit the brake, and went straight into the wall. That's what the data says. And they don't want to just accept that.
No cabin recorder. There's nothing. And mind you, I'm not saying Potts is the reason for it. I'm not saying the car had an issue. I'm not saying the boys did anything. I don't know. I have no idea what happened in that car. And if I don't have any idea, nobody does. And
I understand. Now, the problem with that, in terms of the judge, is I don't remember anything from Mackenze. If Mackenze gets on the stand and remembers everything and tells any other kind of explanation for what happened in the car, this may have been different.
Yeah,
but her saying I don't remember anything is a suspicious answer to people in my business.
I think it's an honest
It
answer.
may be.
At any time, she could have said,
may be.
Dominic attacked me in the car. Davion attacked me in the car.
That's true.
She could have done that. She could have thrown both of those kids under the bus. Okay. And I'm not saying that happened. What I'm saying is there are many possibilities that could have happened from that turn to 4.74 seconds when that black box turned on.
Yes.
And that black box information is nonlinear. It doesn't record. It records bop, 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 bop. Okay. And we had a car expert look at it, and he says, well, maybe she could break at this point. She may have broken between the 2 points. And our lawyer, her lawyer, had that information too and chose not to use it. Again, I do not know why the lawyer chose not to use what
it don't make
resources
sense.
or what information we did have.
Understand.
If 5 seconds, if I had paused here for 5 seconds, bruh, that's an eternity to not stop. 5 seconds in a car of not stopping or not hitting that brake is ridiculous. Do you understand how far a car can travel in 5 seconds? At least a couple 100 feet, 300 to 400 feet. That's why they don't want you looking down at your phone. You could travel a couple 100 yards in 5 seconds, in like 2 seconds. I don't get why they don't hear. I guess when your mind is set in like, I'm defending my kid, you can't really like, when you believe your kid, I guess, and you don't hear the other side of it. 5 seconds is not a long time when you're driving. 5 seconds is a long ass time to be going that fast. It's a long ass time. And then imagine you're in that car and she was driving that fast for longer than 5 seconds. You understand? Like she was going like down like a mile at least down that road. Like 3 or 4 different buildings have her zooming past them. I don't know. People be blinded. He about to ruin his whole life.
I understand what you're saying. This is why I answered that they have data. Okay. You're right about the EDR. Why? That's the way an EDR works, is that after there is an impact,
Yeah.
it keeps only that small window of data.
What happened? My understanding of what happened is the car was coming down the road at a good clip. I can't explain the speed. Nobody's going to be able to explain the speed because nobody alive other than my daughter was in that car is alive now. Okay. And again, the boy, let me say this because I'm going to get nailed for this.
Don't worry about the reaction. Worry about the authenticity of the statement. That's all that you control.
I feel for those two boys. I'm heartbroken for those two boys. And if I can give my life, like I said right from the start, I gladly give my life for those two boys to be here today. Okay. I've never been more torn during an event. How do I feel grief and remorse and pain for the families and for the two boys? How do I do that? And then feel happy for my daughter because she's alive. My daughter's lucky to be alive. And I know people are going to go, good. Okay. Look, my daughter's lucky to be alive. She's lucky to be walking. She's lucky not to be a vegetable.
I agree.
Okay. She's lucky. She's the luckiest.
I agree.
And she struggles with that. But I'm torn.
Natalie.
It's horrible. It's a gut-wrenching feeling I have.
Stop feeding him stuff to say and get on camera, woman. Like, why is she hiding? If you got something to say, get on camera. I don't understand why he don't understand that that's what the black box does. It doesn't record the entire time you're driving. Once it picks up that something is happening, then it goes, hold on, let me capture this information. And for it to record for 5 seconds mean there were like 5 seconds of craziness happening. The car going into neutral, then back into drive, and then going. And then whoever is gassing them and co-signing all of this is just fucking them up even more. All of these YouTubers that are like, they're gassing him up and the family up, as opposed to somebody pulling them aside and being like, yo, they have no friends. They have nobody to be like, hey, let's stop this. Because if I'd be like, yo, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead some because I think I've seen all that. Yeah, there's like a lot more. Let's skip ahead.
If she did, what if we could prove that her POTS caused her to pass out and she seized in the car?
Then it would be an accident.
What if we can prove that either one boy or the other boy did something in the car that caused the accident?
Then she would not have the intent and maybe not the act to trigger a charge.
What if we can prove that the car malfunctioned? This is hypothetical. I'm not.
Then it was an accident.
Okay.
And maybe there's a case against the manufacturer.
Okay. So with those 4 things or 3 things that I brought up here, the POTS, the car, the boys, the other, okay, one of those 4 or 5 things, or a combination of several, she wouldn't be responsible. Yes, she should have been charged with vehicular homicide. She's the driver of the car. She has the responsibility as the driver. Listen, if you can prove to me that she did this with intent and purpose, then she's right where she belongs. I get it.
That's what they get from the texts where she says, I feel like killing someone. I want to bang my head against it. Dom saying that he needs space. Her saying no.
That's not proof of intent. That is, how many have you ever said to anybody, oh my God, I'm going to kill you?
Yes.
Okay.
They don't die.
Should you be charged with murder?
No, but I'd have to explain it.
Okay. It's an analogy. I don't know how many times I've probably said, oh my God, I'm going to freaking kill you over something stupid.
It only becomes a problem.
It doesn't mean I'm going to kill you. And some of the stuff they used against her,
saying stuff like that only becomes a problem when the person actually ends up dead. I joke about this all the time with people. I'd be like, hold on. Because now it's premeditation. I joke about people like that all the time when people be like, yo, I'm about to come up in here and blah, blah, blah. Nope, you're not. We're not going to be able to claim insanity now because you done said it. Okay? It's a joke, I say, but it's true. Now it's premeditated. The second, it only took, literally it was 4.5 seconds, but the second she put her foot on that gas, and didn't stop the car and drove the car into the building the second she didn't take her foot off that gas pedal, that showed her intent. And even if her intent was, I'll take us all out, I don't care, we all going, she survived. It would have been better if she didn't, maybe, because then she's a victim with them. Then we all just holding up candles for all of them. But we got her with her seatbelt on. We got her all gas, no brakes. We got her threatening to do the same thing before. That's no different than the OnlyFans girl, where she stabbed her boyfriend before, and then that's ended up being how she takes his life. We gotta watch what we say before we do stuff. Like, putting it in the air. You can't put stuff up in the air. You can't say shit and then be like, I mean, I said it, but I didn't mean it. No, you put that in the air. You meant it then, you mean it now. You bringing stuff into existence. She manifested it. She had the thought, I'll do this. That meant she was capable of being the type of person to possibly do it. I don't say stuff like that. I don't get in my car and then turn my car into a weapon for the people that's in it. Because I recognize that when people get in my car, they're my responsibility. Their life is in my hands. So I'm not an evil villain. And I'm like, yeah, do what I say right now, or I'm ending it all. And I'm pretty sure it was a do what I say right now or I'm ending it all. Because that's how she acted with her parents. Makes no sense at all.
The thing that happened 2 weeks before, the supposed where she threatened to crash the car, that didn't happen. She did not threaten to crash that car.
How do you know?
Because we've got text messages that state otherwise. My understanding is that they had an argument in the car. Dominic grabbed the wheel. It almost caused the car to crash. So my daughter pulled over, told him to get the hell out of the car. And then there's text back and forth with Dominic's mother and my wife stating it. And I could send those to you if you'd like to see them. They're in the,
sure.
They're in. Okay. I could send them to you.
They're out there.
Yeah, I know that. And that is what happened. And then we got him apologizing, this and that. So he did that. That was not my daughter. And then Christine, in the process of my daughter saying, come get your kid, or she's going to.
I can totally see her saying that and then flipping it to be like, he did it, because she's that kind of evil from what we see. Just from how she talks to y'all. Just from, this is what killed them, or killed it. Just the video of her threatening, like, let me in the house. That video showed me everything I needed to see about what kind of relationship they had. I'm not letting you leave this house until you let me in. I'm not letting you do anything until you're not going anywhere until I get what I want. That's what. Ask him about that, Chris. Come on, Chris. What about that video? Not letting him leave the house so he can go do what he got to do. He trying to go see his grandma or some shit. And she wouldn't let him leave the house. Because they're like, you can't come in the house no more. Go home. What about that? Y'all were so happy for her to go stay over at Dom's house. It gave y'all a little bit of peace. Don't they got another kid? Don't they got another daughter? I wonder what she got to say. I don't see her in nothing. So let me mind my business.
She sent this guy named Christopher Martin to go fetch him. In the trial, Christopher Martin perjured himself, and he said that he went to get Dominic. He was driving, and I don't know how he got from where he was living to that car to get behind them to hear her say that is a lie. What happened was they were already pulled over. Okay. Christopher Martin pulled up behind her. He says that he was on the phone with Dom. He was not on the phone with Dom, because in the interview that are on Crime Circus that the detective did with Christine Russo, she says, I was on the phone with Dom until Christopher got there.
Right.
Okay. That's true. That happened. That is a fact. Okay. Christopher Martin lied. He said he pulled up while they were going. He was on the phone with Dom. And he heard her say, "I'm going to crash this car." Then they pulled over. She was already pulled over. In the text messages that my wife and my sister-in-laws, we got off her phone, and then we got.
Everybody could have been on the phone. These people be having like 2 and 3 phones. She could have had a 3-way call. And they all on the phone together, sir. You're not saying nothing.
My wife's phone state that, and the prosecution knew it, and still put oh yeah, I mean, let me call him hench, because this is the felon that lives in Christine Russo's basement. Okay, so a sitting judge took the word of a 7-time felon, and our lawyer did nothing to counter it, because
Well, that's your problem.
I
You say it now, but it didn't happen in trial.
And that's why we're arguing this. I should have been arguing this right from day one. This is where we need help. This is what we're looking for. We're looking for help, because an injustice was done to my daughter. A witness perjured himself on the stand. How do I fix that? There's no way of fixing it, because I got a judge, because every appeal goes back to her court. It goes back to her court, and she gets to decide. And the reason she's not going to go against her, because her ego, okay? And she's biased. She's either biased, she's on the take, or she's
Well, when you appeal, it will go to other judges. And if they order a new trial,
it goes right back to her court. So if the appellate court would have said this is going to go back to trial, it goes back to Nancy Margaret Russo's court.
Right, but then you would argue that she's got to recuse herself.
Well, we did that at this trial because of the last name, and she said,
"I know, but that's not
a blood relation," which is a lie.
That's not a thing. I mean, there are a lot of people named Russo.
Yeah, but not in Cuyahoga County. They're all related. And I'm sorry, if it's not with Christine Russo, it's with somebody else that's connected to her. Look, again, I have just as much proof that there's a conspiracy or a fix or a favor that they have that my daughter did this with purpose. Sorry, that's it. And if you don't want to believe it, that's fine.
No, listen, it's not about what I believe. I'm here to give you an opportunity to say what you mean and to test why you believe it. Okay. And that's what I hope you understand.
Chris, setting your bitch ass up. It ain't about what I believe. I'm gonna just sit here and let your dumb ass talk. Craziness. They would have had to say something. They would have had to do something to be like, oh, why? If both their last names is Russo, did y'all do a bench trial? Why? I would never do a bench trial. Not with them facts. Give me a jury that I could sit and look innocent to. Put my little glasses on and sit on proper. Is that my set? Right in front of the jury. I'm going to jail. Ain't no way. As soon as I heard that they did a bench trial, I said, why did they do that? Makes absolutely no sense. Oh man, I hope y'all don't hear me swallowing. That'd be horrible. Do a bench trial. Crazy talk.
I'm doing. What just came out from what came out from TMZ, where they grabbed audio from prison phone calls, where Natalie is criticizing the family of Dom's family, calling them evil. What is that about?
Let's see. For 4 years, there hasn't been a peep out of them for the most part. My understanding, there's a half sister, a Christine Russo Jr., and I don't want to talk bad about the family at all. I understand their anger, and I understand they lost somebody, but to go online and badmouth anyone who's defending my daughter makes them look bad to me. Okay. And my wife was talking to my daughter, and it was a private conversation. I must say it's a private conversation. It's a conversation between my wife and my daughter. And it has nothing to do with anybody else. And if it's unfortunate that the Russo family or others have been saying the stuff they're saying. Again, nobody knows my wife. Nobody knows me. Nobody knows my daughter. And the make past judgment on us is just.
Yeah, but y'all showing us a lot. Y'all doing a lot. Y'all saying a lot. It's a lot, mister. It's a lot. Like, there's so much y'all could not be saying. that y'all keep saying the wrong thing. Like, we could say you could say something, but just stop saying the stuff that you're saying, because it just don't make no sense. It don't make no sense to come after the people, no matter how you cut it. Your daughter ran a car into a wall with 2 other people in it, and the 2 people died. No matter how you cut it. Accident, no accident. Like, her intent was her foot on that gas. Why didn't you take your foot off the gas? Can't you say I had a seizure? Well, did you have a seizure? Did that happen, sweetie? You didn't? All right, then we can't say you had a seizure. You want us to lie? I don't understand. I don't understand.
Narrow-minded nonsense from internet trolls. I mean, hey, make your podcast. Say what you want. Again, it's unfortunate. And like I said, I feel for the families. I don't know what they want me to do. Should I wear a black dress and a veil the rest of my life?
Yes.
Look, I'm sorry Dominic and Davion passed away in this accident. And that is all this was an accident. And it's unfortunate and it's tragic. And I can't imagine their pain in that. I can't. I'm sorry. But at some point, I have to defend my daughter. My daughter who was wrongly convicted. If she would have been...
That girl ain't never getting out of jail. She gonna do 25. She gonna do an extra 10 years. Because they won't just tell her to say sorry. Motherfucker, if Jessica, what's her name? If Rebecca Horrow can get in front of the judge and squeeze out a tear, why can't your daughter? Jake Horrow actually dropped a tear. And he did the unthinkable. We still can't find a baby. Why can't you just say, I'm sorry? I didn't mean it. I don't remember what happened, but I did it and I'm sorry. Legit, all she got to say. She will never be able to say that because of them. She's doing all the time. Every ounce of the time. Every second at a time. Every minute at a time. She doing all the time. All of it. She will not get a more. And then she acting up in there too. Like, my daughter was she had no issues. If she had no issues, okay, if she had no behavior problems out here in the world, she would be a model inmate in jail. She would not get in any trouble in jail. She'd be the leader of the good pack, not the leader of the bad pack of wolves. Like, I don't understand it. She will be in there. I'm marking it right now, 25 years. That's what I'm saying, 25. She might even do 30. She might do an extra 15 because y'all don't know how to tell her to say I'm sorry. None of it matters. All of this, none of the other stuff matters. Whether she said that to him then or threatened it then, all that matters is that 5 seconds right before that car hit that wall. That's it. That's all that matters. Nobody's name matters. None of that other stuff matters. How much she smokes doesn't matter. How much weed she wastes at one time. None of that matters. I know her ass is privileged as fuck, wasting all that weed. But none of that makes any lick of difference because her foot was on that gas. And y'all got no explanation for why her foot was on that gas and she didn't break at all. There was nothing that said, oh shit, I'm sorry, let me stop. Nothing. Everything says she intended to end it all. And even if she tried to hurt herself and end it all, she took them with her. And God said, nope. Kicking you back out there, it's not fair. You gonna have to answer for this. Just say I'm sorry. Rebecca Horrow got all types of. She could look like a sad puppy, and she did the shit. They can't even prove exactly what she did. They just know she did it. They got more proof for what Rebecca did than they have for what you did. All they have is that box. All she got to do. That's all she got to do. When the 15 years is up, Mackenzie, just say you sorry. That's it. Just say you sorry. All right, I'm gonna get out of this. Maybe if, and there's still mad time left. There's still like a half hour left. Let's see let's see how Chris closes it out.
Again, the justice
I
system's
am a
wrong.
call away for whatever happens next. And
Okay.
I will do just like I did here. I know it's not comfortable to be tested on these things, but that's the job. And I'll offer the opportunity whenever you want.
I appreciate that. And and if more comes out, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. But like I said, if you want to vilify me for backing my daughter, go. Well, I can't stop you. Go crazy. Okay.
Steve, what it's going to be is what you and I just experienced here. That's what I'm putting out. Okay.
Great. Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you for taking the
crazy.
opportunity. Thank your wife as well. And again, make sure she knows I wasn't boxing her out from this.
No, I know. Well, she didn't want to be on camera. We got it.
That's fine. That's fine. That's her choice. Okay.
And I appreciate your time or golf for me this time. Thanks.
Steve, I'm here. You know how to get me.
Okay. We're good.
Mackenzie. You will never get out because you're listening to your parents. And they are giving you very bad advice. You know what you need to do. I think you need some time away. I think they need to take your phone privileges away so you don't listen to them and you just sit and think, and they are doing you a disservice. I'm telling you right now. If you don't want to be in there until your late 30s, I can't imagine being in jail in my 40s. Okay? This is prime time. Okay? We starting life over right now. Okay? We finding new hobbies and shit. Ain't no way. I'm gonna do everything. I don't know what tomorrow holds, but I swear to God, I hope tomorrow does not hold me doing something stupid that puts me in jail. Okay? And if it is, I'm gonna do everything I can to make that stay as short as possible. If saying I did it gets me off of it, I'm probably just going to say I did it because I don't want to be here. Okay? There's no way. But that was that. He was bugging. Mackenzie, stop listening to your parents. Okay? Stop listening to them. Just make your way to stay away from them. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Just stop listening to them. I'm your friend. I'm your friend, Mackenzie. Stop listening to your parents. Find a way to squeeze out some empathy, something, and just say you're sorry. And not even just I'm sorry, just I caused this. I created this. I was in charge. I was driving the car. It was me. My foot was on that gas pedal. Even if it was my foot was on that gas pedal when I passed out, I did this. I don't think your ass passed out, but yeah, just say you're sorry, girl. That's it. And you'll be good. I don't know. I wasn't meaning to be on here this long, and it's gonna take all night to load and do whatever so I can fucking post it. But here we are. Yeah, this sucks. It doesn't suck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If it was somewhat entertaining, let me know in the comments. Give it a like. Subscribe if you can, if you're willing. I'm learning. We're jumping off, we're figuring stuff out. Hopefully this is okay. But please like, comment, share, whatever, do all of the crazy YouTube stuff. Please. I gotta remember to ask more in the middle. That's what they say, to ask more in the middle, to tell people to like it. But I be forgetting. Well, I don't forget. I'm talking to myself, really. But one day I'll be talking to the masses, right? But yeah, we'll talk in a little bit. Goodbye, everybody. Oh, I thought you was under my bed. Ow! I thought you were under my bed. Oh, they hurt me. No. Black.